Well, look at all you people out there. Go get the hair out of my eyes. Peace and love. Old Mac is going to bring you today peace and love. Oh, we got a victim in there. We got one. Who is it? Oh, Dave's channel. Oh my God, man. It's so good seeing you. Oh, I loved it yesterday when you met the French woman. And then it was spooky. It was keeping up with rolling with T Bone's theme. The cryptids turned dark. The only thing that was shining was, well, there was a few things came out in the video, but you had a lovely time. You was drinking some cold beer. I got so thirsty watching you drink. Oh, I wish I had me one. Yeah, you meet interesting people. I can see why you hang out at Fremantle, North Fremantle. Um, you can engage with so many people. They love talking to old Dave, and uh, and we're no exception. Brown chicken. Good morning to the brown chicken, wherever you might be today. We're sitting all up in here in Arkadelphia. I am so. I've got so much on my mind that Dave, I never thought to ask you how well was you and this kind of stuff. Thank you. And there's my baby sister. 43 degrees. Well, we're a lot warmer than that. I put on a sweatshirt when I got out of the shower. I stuck on a sweatshirt. I think I put it on so it would absorb all the wet places that I might have missed with the towel. Let me see how. Hang on, guys. My sister there, Connie. She's in the eye of the hurricane. She's in Tampa area. I didn't see this morning what the how big it's going to be. Like a sewing circle. Man, you can have such good times. Oh, that is so appreciated, Dave. Praying for my sister Connie and for the people of Florida. Um, Milton is going to raise hell. I don't know if it's still intense or if it's starting to come down. Sometimes these things come all apart when they get in the Gulf, and we can kind of hope that, and then they'd get a lot of rain, but not a lot of 150-mile-per-hour wind. Oh yeah, yeah. Sick is up there in Gainesville. He's just at the outer edge of. He's on the fringe, which is going to be a lot of water, and of course, shade tree surgeon. He's going to be deadly hit. Now they took a hit last time, and but they're preparing for it. They're not going to let nothing happen to the forgotten angels. All right, 71 degrees in Tampa, going to be 40. I'm sorry, 71, going to be 84 this afternoon. Thanks, Connie, for the weather update. Dave and a lot of people are praying for you and the people of Florida, and they'll if it happens the way they say, they'll be seeing one of the biggest tide, biggest 20 foot, they said. And they showed where 20 foot of water would be in this park down in Tampa, and that's a lot of water. I know my sister; she's already got a plan. They're going to vacate when they give them the order to leave. They're gone. They're going to be heading to their safe zone. Everybody that lives there that's been there for a while, they know you got to have a safe place to stay or to go during the bad weather. Got the Harley in my den. Well, it's already 68 degrees where brown chicken's at, and he's already winterizing his bikes. Mine stays out there under the shed. We don't get any bad weather here in Alabama. There was a few days. I tell you what we did. When the weather last year, not last year, it seemed like it was last year, when the weather um, in January got really nasty here. You might have seen I made a video of me sitting right over there with a big hooded coat on, with my Coleman camp stove, cooking breakfast for Angelique and I right here in this room here. We huddled in this room right here was our for like 4 days. And I said to her, "You want to get out of this crap?" And she said, "Hell yeah." So we took off to Florida. Me and Angelique and Theo. And we went to Florida and got down there and rode in 70 plus degree weather. Oh, it's nice. Knowing just 600 miles to the north, it was freezing. At least you got a shelter. Uh, don't let them be hardheads. You're the elder spokesman down there in that part of the family, and you tell them, be like Mama on that show, Mama. You tell them get their asses to the shelter, because when, let's say that your building that you're living in is pretty safe, when one down the street is not as safe as yours and it rolls into your building, what are you going to do when a 2x4 comes through the living room? Yeah, come to Alabama. She was born in Alabama. She she's got a lot of family down there in Florida, and they'll all be safe. They already got their little shelter and everything. Oh, is the worst they've seen the weather. Oh, so I didn't know if it intensified. See, when I got up and took my shower, I didn't turn the TV on to see if there's any weather, or I didn't go on here. Yeah, baby. I tell you what, two before. Oh, sick. I didn't see sick in there. I'm not very good at reading. I mean, I didn't look over and read. I should have read. I was busy yapping. Good morning, sick. Yeah, after watching Rolling with T-Bones, his first chapter of the cryptids yesterday, I woke up this way, just wow. Woo! I might be the Mothman. Oh yeah, you guys are. There's a bullseye. According to last thing I seen last night, that Tampa Bay is going to be it's going to be hit. American Outlaw. I bet you the American Outlaw is not out there in the shed with his T-shirt on, pulling the wrench this morning up in North Dakota. Yeah, by all means, you guys pay attention and do what it takes. We don't want to lose any of our group. I like American. I like the brown chicken. I like the American flag and the chicken. Oh, and the yo, that's pretty cool. And big smiley face from American Outlaw. He's doing good. He already knows at this time of the year you don't stick your tongue to the flagpole. You're one of the kindest people, Sick. You're always looking after other people. You do so much for this group. Like on the like Motorbomb Virginia's duct tape thing he does on the weekends. Man, you contribute so much to that group. I mentioned on the duct tape how much I really appreciated having that list of people's pages that you could go to without having to go and look all through there to try to find them, try to remember where you put them. Well, I find myself once again doing Tuesday talk without coffee. You just be careful down there, Sick. Uh, you also don't want to overtax yourself either. A lot of people put so much in doing everything in the last minute that they overdo the old heart. Next thing you know, they find themselves in distress. Even though you are a young guy, it's still good to pace yourself. Just a couple of years ago, Sick, you was able to go through 3 or 4 women a night. Well, now you're getting a little older. Cut it back to 2, maybe 3 at most. Listen to Old Mac. He knows stuff. Whoa. It's going to be devastating. I'm thinking there are going to be a lot of the old classic trees you see every time you run down to Tampa Bay, Clearwater, Port Richey, all those beautiful trees. I'm afraid a lot of them's going to suffer. Yeah, the rubber tired deacon, he's got to start planning for his next year adventures. And we got to assign a security force amongst ourselves. You know, some of the big hardy ones. Oh, I mean, I want to tell you, Ray Gregory, he'd be good to have on your security team. God Almighty, that man has got some stamina. Um, and he's also a good guy. You know, you see people behind the camera, you look at them, and then I tell you where you feel the measure of a man when he sticks that hand out and you get a hold of that hand, you know you're holding on to a man. Big, strong hand. Um, the eyes can lie. The laughter can be deceitful. But that handshake reveals all. And everyone here knows that. A handshake and a hug is hugging is absolutely the greatest compliment you can get is when somebody gives you a hug. One human hugging another human. I'm making sure that I haven't missed it. I want to put the camera over here. Yeah, yes. That way I can look directly right at the writing and make y'all think I'm talking directly to you, but I'm actually reading the screen. Oh yeah, he's going down there and hauling them little kids. All right, just watch the hurricane update. They say 15 feet, standing water, and 160-mile-per-hour wind. Buck's going to get hit again. Oh man, there's another good human being, Buck Brown. I'm the head deacon. I'm the guy that counts the money. Yeah, I was down in Clearwater and we went over to Honeymoon Island, and that was all back in January. I've now put on 6,100 miles on my bike this year. I just crossed 6,100 miles for the year. Um, yeah, I'm now, let's see, I had the oil change when I came back from Florida. So I'm approaching, I may have just passed the 3,000 miles since I changed the oil. I'll be the head of the deacon. I'm ahead of the rubber tired deacon. See, sick. Us deacons, we go to these different towns and we come riding in of our Harleys. Now that's a heavenly sound. You remember when Jesus returns back to the earth with Gable blowing the trumpets? Well, we're going to have Dave. He's going to be blowing a trumpet, and I think motor bomb. A couple of three of them, as we ride into town, it's like when I come in, it'd be like the Gabriel, and the people, the crowd will start parting back like Moses when he parted the seas. You can't hire nobody to come to North Dakota. Not a guy. Go up there and freeze his nuts off. Ours was punishment. They used to punish when you got a little rowdy and out of control. You went to Minot. If you, yeah, there are so many rules and regulations. There were so many rules and regulations with our military group. If you got a little bit out of line, they would send you to Minot for punishment. And then sometimes they would send you to Cheyenne. Now you think, oh wow, Cheyenne, the town. There's nothing wrong with the town of Cheyenne, but when they send you to Cheyenne, you're locked in. You go in, they close the doors behind you, and you spend your year in the mountain of Cheyenne. Cheyenne Mountain is a big facility, and that's another. When I saw it come up on the board, Sedalia, Missouri, old Jerry put his hand up. They said, "You got it," because a lot of people was afraid of the rednecks and stuff like that. I was born in redneck country, so that didn't faze me. I was a bigger redneck than they was. So I took the Sedalia, Missouri. I don't. I know my other sister Joyce. She come to see me at Whiteman Air Force Base. I was stationed down there for a year, and her and my wife number three come to see me down in Whiteman Air Force Base, and they dropped off my little baby daughter Cindy. Whiteman Air Force Base had a really great school system, and so she went to school in the base area. She didn't go to school. She spent the summer, but she had all the activities of the base. Now Donald, he went to school on the base, and he loved it. Yeah, as I was saying, after watching the first chapter of Roland of T-Bone's cryptid chapter one, I woke up like this. Well, no, I wanted to get on. I made it to five. Sick. Uh, Number three was a lovely Cherokee woman that gave me two little Cherokee kids. And number four was a Swedish woman, and that we lasted 8 years. Number four, but she saw a way of making a little money off me, and the easiest way to get money from me is in Washington State is to divorce you, and you get one half. You get one half immediately. Yeah. So number four, we didn't have no children, and then comes Ruth, number five. 33 years of culture and refinement. She loved to drink tea, chamomile hot tea. She never got me drinking that stuff. I like sweet cold tea. But she was an artist. She was like Dave, like others that we've seen on here on our group. She painted natural scenes, waterfalls. She painted a lot of pictures, a lot of stuff, and she loved it. She'd spend months doing a picture. She did a picture of a lake up by Mount Rainier, and she had to stay up there on. I forget what the name of that peak is. I think it's called Mount Tacoma, like the city, but it's there's a Mount Index is right off the side. But she stayed up there in a tent and painted. She was good. She loved what she did. I'll be glad when that little girl she wakes up and comes and gets old. Well, I know she's already up because she watches TV over on the other side of the house, and she was so happy. Before my wife passed away, I bought a big screen, flat panel screen for the living room, and we just never did connect it up with this new system. We had it connected to the other system, so I never did go in there and set up the Wi-Fi. And she came in here and she said, "I got the TV in the front all connected up. Am I frozen up or I don't know?" Oh, Bob Rossi. Oh, he was so good. Yeah, she set that whole thing up. She went in and took the keyboard and put the password in, and now when she's in there washing dishes or cooking or something like that, she's got her TV that she can watch. Ruth always liked to watch TV when she was cooking. Oh yeah, he can make you feel so good to watch him paint. He make you feel happy, and that's what we need is more happy feelings. Yeah, I plan up a lot of things, where I want to go, um, and then I tell her, I said, "Looky, I'd like to run this by you to see if you would like to do this or not." And she'll say, "Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good." But one time she came in and she said, "We need to look at Google Earth." I said, "Why?" She said, "Put Google Earth on your screen." So I put Google Earth, and she took the mouse and moved around. She said, "This is where I want to go right here. I want to go right here." I said, "That's 800 miles." Well, that's where I want to go. Yeah, well, there we are. She already planned out the motel stops and all that stuff. Yeah, we went down on the Gulf and went down below. Got off I-10 and went down through the bayous of Louisiana on over. While you're going over into Texas, and you can. Oh my God, there's some good beaches down, especially around Biloxi. You can ride right alongside the beach for miles and miles. Or there's Port St. Charles. that you cross over into. It is pretty as any place in the world. You see all kinds of beautiful TV movies about these travel channels about south of France and all those places. Hell, America's beautiful. Where Dave lives over there, he's got endless explored lands. Let me tell you a little story. Y'all want to hear a little story about Angelique? Okay. Angelique has been a part of my life for, I think, 34 years. 34 years now. When I married Ruth, she had a daughter that was irresponsible, and she didn't know how to take care of a baby. So Ruth took the baby, her grandbaby, and raised her. When I got married to Ruth, Angelique was almost 6 years of age. She's always been with us. I treat her like a grown woman. She's 40, well, be 40 years old in November the 9th. She'll be 40 years old. She's always been in this family. My family loves her. Not everybody's got to meet her or see her because I have a big spread out family, but the ones that have met her love her. And yeah, we have a really good relationship. It's not like father and daughter because she has her own last name. She's never been my last name. She ain't never been like a stepdaughter or nothing like that. She's always been. I wanted her to grow up to be like a woman, instead of going out and having 5 or 6 kids and then moving back home. She tried that form of living um, for 3 or 4 years, but as things would crumble down, she'd come back home and she stayed. When she came back, she never did want to go back again. She she uses me as a security blanket, and I try to provide her all the protection that I can give her in her life. And she clings to me because she does not want to be abused by anybody or to be taken advantage of or any of that stuff. It's a complicated life that she has chosen, but she knows I love her, always have. I've got so many children. I try to treat her like an adult rather than just one of the kids. So that's the story of Angelique. I'm her security blanket, and we banter back and forth. She's a good little human being that likes comedy in her life, and we've always had fun. And I know that when Ruth left, I looked her in the eyes. I looked right in her eyes, And I talked to her about Angelique, that she'd always be cared for. And she closed her eyes. That is the story of Angelique. So she loves me. I'm her protector. And I love her as a really good human being. We have the purest form of love. It's two hearts beating as one. It's not, she knows that she don't have to figure out a way to leave her lover. I said it was a very complicated relationship. Um, she's never referred to me as daddy. She has her own father. It is, and she is a comfort to me. She helps me, and she does things for me that old Mac sometimes he wakes up in the morning and his leg, where's his leg at? His leg not functioning good. But she'll do the walking to help me out. Everything that I own is hers. Everything, everything is hers. She knows I got a big family. I wish that little heifer. Oh, she would get down there with that hot. She had to use hot Epsom salt water. Oh, they took my toenails off one time, Dave. They literally surgically removed my toenails. As a diabetic, I had a problem underneath the nails that occurs to a lot of diabetics. And so there was a procedure where I had to have warm soapy, not soapy, Epsom salts and water. And she got down there, and I couldn't get down there, and she treated my feet with the toenails missing. And then when I broke my leg, she didn't go, oh no, no, she just jumped right in there. When Mom was dying, my wife Ruth, for 5 years, Angelique cared for her. She called her mom, but it was her grandmother. She cared for her every day and put on dressings and did all the stuff. And then in the last couple of years, she was basically incoherent. She was with dementia real bad. After her cancer, she had breast removal thing. And Angelique was there for her every moment. Um, the evening when her time was up, when Ruth's time was up, Angelique was holding her hand on the other side of the bed, and I seen the pleading in Ruth's eyes. That look, her head would not turn from mine. It was fixed right at me. So I told Angelique to leave. then it was over. She is going to roll me over and change my sheets, and she's going to do all those. I have her is going to prepare me for my journey, which we're all going to take. I won't be going alone. But anyhow, that's the whole story of Angelique. And she said the other day, Dave, we was talking about she was going to get all of this, and she said, "Do I get the internet too, and all your friends on the internet?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "I'm gonna take Dave. I want Dave," because she sees you kind of like she sees me. When she looks at Dave, she sees some of me in Dave that she really likes. She likes his wild adventure. She'll do anything. She loves doing everything. Just hello, Mr. Motorbomb. I'm having a little fireside chat with the fellows here, and come right on in. I'm still without a cup of coffee. I would love to have a cup of coffee. American Outlaw, um, you you're putting it together. You can't blame nobody else if something goes wrong. If that back wheel gets that golly wobble, starts doing this, and the handlebars are doing this, and oh, that's a scary damn feeling. I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you about that scary golly wobbles or the death wobble. I was coming out of Sedalia, Missouri. I think Highway 54, US 54, I believe it was, or 50. It was 54, I believe. And I was moving. I was on a CB4, CB 750, and as I came past Lamont, Missouri, Lamont is on a rise. I was doing 130 as I came over the hump there in Lamont, Missouri on 54. When I came over the hump at 130 miles per hour, the front end was now kind of separated itself from the highway, and it started this. Oh, hell, it was a wild ass ride. Woo! I used to be an old dirt track rider, and my feet touched the pavements down at 80, 90 miles per hour. Touch, my boots I had on, and it slicked the bottom of them every time I touched touched the pavement. Oh, some of these other fellows will convey the story to you. It's it's pretty emotional story, but love. When you love another human being, there's a lot of complexity that binds you together, and some of them you just really can't expose because they're the innermost secured things that you have promised to not to expose. But truth is one of the things that more people should practice. The question was asked, and I was compelled to answer about the relationship of me and Angelique. It's been one of the longest love affairs. I've loved her all her life, 34 years now, 34 of her 40. And she's never had a day that didn't she never felt loved. We're partners, we're buddies, we're riding friends, we're closely associated, and we're tied together with a bond from her mother, her grandmother. So that's the story. I'm sticking to it. Oh man, a death wobble. How I bet you, Motorbum, if you've ever had a bike with a death wobble, that's the scariest thing I ever experienced. Well, I gotta tell you, when I got the death wobble, it was late at night. Had I have crashed, they wouldn't have found me in daylight. Lamont's sort of an open area. It's not treed, so. Oh, thank you, Connie. I know. She, anytime you was around her, she would say, "Can I get you something, Aunt Connie?" So yeah, you've never seen her when she was surly or bossy, or You've known her as long as I've known her. You was the one, Connie. There, as you see, she was the one that got me a date with her boss. She set us up, and it lasted for 33 years. That was my baby sister. The bond between Angelique and Ruth was really strong. The security she felt in Ruth, I inherited that, and my job is to continue on to make sure she. The American outlaw's hollering at you, Connie. Wave back at him. Hey, that's what we do down here in the South. American outlaw. We go, hey. When I came from Washington and moved down here, it took a year before I realized everybody waves at you when you're driving your pickup truck. They go. I said, "Do you know those people?" You didn't have to know them. Good old Southern ways. I know you did, Connie. I know you loved her, and she was just a good human being. Was always fair and honest, and you know she was a great cook. You come and stayed with us when before you went back to Washington. Spent the night with us there, and I know you felt like you was at home when you was at my place. That's how everybody felt when they come to visit me. Ruth made sure they felt like they was at home. Ruth and I used to like to pour us a glass of scotch. She liked Chevets. She loved Chevets. She never was an alcoholic and never was a drunk. But when she wanted to relax, her drink that she would relax with was Chevets. And so we'd drink scotch. And that I really like that because I've had friends come to the house and the only alcohol we'd have would be scotch. And they go, "No, I don't drink that stuff. I don't drink no scotch." So they never did drink up our scotch. I know somebody that really used to love black velvet. I love that somebody that used to love black velvet. I've loved little Connie right there, my sister, all of her life. I was like 6 or 7 years old. Let's see, she was born in '47, so I was 7 years old. I was 7 years old when she was born. So immediately she was our little baby. You know, she was the baby, and she was raised up like the baby. Oh, I hope I didn't ruin any conjured up imaginations. I'm real. I'm the guy that's real. There's no bullshit here now. Well, I might tell you the fish was that big, but see, I'm doing this way. If you notice, the fish was that big, and you think it's like, but it was that big. All of you, everybody out there. Oh God, don't get Cunny started. She's got stories she could tell. I could tell you stories. Cunny was a jet setter. Cunny there flew all over the United States. She was, I mean, I'd say, where are you at today? I'm in Atlanta. Where are you at today? Oh, I'm over here at Old Merced, California. Where are you at today? I'm up in Yakima, Washington. She was, she loved motorcycles. When she was young, I'd take her for a ride, and we would ride so hard. We used to race motorcycles, and I'd take her on a little old seat on my racing bike, and we'd run it hard too. She ain't, Connie ain't afraid of nothing. She can shoot a gun. She's good with a knife. She was raised right. She'd be a good warrior. I'm telling you, my baby sister would be a good warrior. I've seen her, and she's pretty stout. Now, her older sister, she's younger than me. Joyce is Grandma Joyce. You know, she'll like to crochet and knit, and she does this and she does that. She's just like our mother. Our mother was always all over the place, busy working, you know, painting, putting down new carpets, putting up new windows, climbing up on the roof. And Connie is like my little Angelique. Connie, when I was a young man, when I come home, Connie hopped on the back of my motorcycle. Connie rode she climbed with me up the biggest dune in, I don't remember if it was Florence, Oregon or Coos Bay, but where it's called Coffee Hill. Oh, but it put me and her both in the hospital. Put her in the hospital, broke her neck and broke some bones. I don't know how many things you broke, but you broke a lot of stuff. And she ended up in the Coos Bay Hospital, and I loaded my stuff up and drove 400 miles back up to where I lived. And the next day, I went in the hospital and stayed 28 days. Well, it was a tragic day. So we lived hard, And we didn't let nothing stop us. And then in 1985, I had bought a new four wheeler. They were just starting to become popular, four wheelers. I bought a Suzuki that had, it was like a uh, built up thing. They had the they had the engine built in it. I bought it new, but it had a built engine in it, uh, port timing pistons and expansion chamber. That thing was fast. And while riding in the dunes in 85, I had a crash. I went over and fell to the bottom, 125 foot. I went off the top. Well, I went off the top and then it rolled over and the machine fell on me. Oh, they'll have their own stories. Their stories will be such a departure from our old stories. Connie, I love you so much because uh, you're a part of my youth that. Oh, I hear that. Oh, you don't come over and get on the camera. You don't walk around this way. Hey, don't do it. Oh hell, damn! Wow, woman.
Get up. I just didn't want to get up.
All right, look at this. I just told them about the true but sad story about Jerry and Angelique.
Which one? There's too many to count.
Telling them about how much I love you.
Uh,
Connie said she loves you.
uh,
And all these people here, they think the world of you. So, see, with your little eyebrows, raise your eyebrows if you love them.
I don't know how to do that.
Tell them if you love Old Mac.
I love this man.
How many years have you loved Old Mac?
Pretty much my whole life.
See, when I need some loving, easy loving. This little baby right here, she come over and she'd make Old Mac feel like he's 20 again.
You want some Bailey's in your
Give me
coffee?
some more of that sugar. Mm. Now I want some Bailey's in my coffee.
Want some Bailey's coffee?
Yeah, make me a cup of coffee with Bailey's in it.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of cream, put the Bailey's in.
I was going to anyway, I decided to ask.
Connie, could I get you a cup of Irish coffee?
I'm gonna make. I still have some hot cocoa mix for me, so I'm gonna make myself a Bailey's coffee.
Okay. I didn't want that woman on the camera. She had that wild look about her. But now there she is. I'm getting Connie a cup of Irish coffee. And I'm going to tell you anything you want to know about me. Connie has the whole story. I talk a lot about me and things I've done in the 84 years of my living. She only missed 7 years of it because I'm 7 years older. And we lived on the wild side. Now I'm going to tell you, how many real fast cars did I have? You couldn't even count how many cars with hundreds of horsepower. I bought every new car there was. I had Ford Torinos with 429s and 428s, and I've had all the Chevrolets, 427s. I've had all the Chrysler Mopar. I bought a Barracuda that I really liked that Barracuda. It was a fine car. It was good. Everything was always on the wild side. I didn't buy any little kitty cars, mine was, and when I got a truck, you can ask her, guys. When I got a truck, it had to have the biggest tires that you could put on a truck. I had 44-inch super swampers on a 79 Chevy short wheelbase with a turbocharged 350 engine built by a guy named Jim Kenfield. He was known as Mr. Corvette. Whoa, thanks, little love nugget. A little love nugget. There you go, folks. Get down here where you can see. Let me see. Cutting this sip of Bailey's here is for you. Good God, girl, this is strong. You want a little sip?
No, I took one.
You
I took one for the team.
You took. Oh, she said she took a sip of my Irish.
It kicks.
Hey, I had a Ford 360. I had a 360 and an F-250 Ford pickup truck that was awesome. I had an 11-foot wilderness camper on it, and we drove it down to Reno and Las Vegas. It is. Oh, and see, instead of cream, she put Bailey's in it. Oh, that's all Bailey's, and oh, it is good. Like Connie said, a whole bunch. We had a whole bunch of stuff. Connie's kids, when they was little kids, they wanted to be with Uncle Old Mack, and they'd go camping with me and my family because when you went with us, it was all live action. There was no pussyfooting. Oh, I've seen some. Oh, there you guys love the Outback. You got. I watch this channel. I don't remember it now, but these guys are always taking their four wheelers and going into places and doing that stuff. But when I had them 44 Mickey Thompson Swampers on my, I'm gonna tell you this: when I had those 44-inch tall tires on my '79 Chevrolet, the price of those four tires, could have bought you a fairly decent used automobile. I was in Washington State, and they was very expensive. And I was married to a little Swedish woman. Connie knows the little Swedish woman, and I had to have that the steps and stuff where she could get up in it, crawl up in it. It's 8 o'clock Central. Well, it's 3 minutes to 8. It's 7:57. The old clock is a little fast. I hear the little heifer moving around in there. I hear her hoofs. Oh, she's in the bathroom. I seen the light going under the door there. Oh, she's gonna beauty herself up, I guess. That what you saw when she came in there this morning is the raw Angelique. Unprepped live. I see the light go off and I hear the little hoofs. Oh, she's gonna make old Mac some breakfast. Oh, yeah, drop the kids off at at the school. Okay, well, come on in. While you was gone, American Outlaw, I ain't done got myself a cup of Bailey's coffee. You was the one that helped me learn how to. Oh, we're gonna get a story. You was the one that helped me to learn how to drive at 13 years. One time I took a joyride while you were working, and I washed your car because I got it muddy. Remember on. Oh my God! Look at, I'm getting a true confession from my baby sister. I taught her how to drive, and then she takes. I had always had hot rods. I had Plymouth Furies, and if it's hot and fast, that's what I had. And she took my when I was working. She hopped in my race car, and all of her families are all grown up now. Connie's all of her children are grown up, and all of her lives are secure. Everybody is doing okay. We're living in the most perfect time, I'm telling you. With this technology we have, we can sit and have coffee with family. We can we can visit with our YouTube friends. See, now with the connection with Ray Gregory, I've shook his hand. He's more than just a face on the other side of the camera. He's a warm human being that will do anything for you. He well, sick can tell you he come down twice to see sick. Yeah, that's it. Angelique has a pen pal in Greece, and they've been pen pals for years. Oh, look at Ray. Hey, look at Ray Gregory. I was telling them about that big old strong handshake that you got. And here's the deal with this new technology. I mean, it's no more than the price of a light bulb being turned on. I mean, it don't cost you an arm and a leg to say good morning or best of wishes. Hey, I like that your movie yesterday, uh, Ray, when you was leaving out and you made it all the way to the Chevron station, which is changed after I told you to go to the Chevron station. They changed it to mobile. Ray had to point out to me that is no longer a Chevron station. It I was just up there. It's mobile now. They switched over. I could not believe it. But you see that all the time. We had a Chevron station that is now a Marathon station right over here, 7 miles from here. It is so good. Everybody were raising their hands and Ray Ray.
Here, try it with cocoa.
Oh, a little heifer. She put her hair up.
No, I didn't want to get hair in my cocoa.
You didn't want hair in her.
No.
See, she had to have a bigger cup than Old Mac. Look at this thing.
That is my beautiful cocoa cup. One of my beautiful
This
cocoa
is
cups.
a cup of cocoa. Ain't nothing better than waking up to a cup of hot cocoa. Did you put Bailey's in your cocoa?
Of course.
Okay, Bailey's in the
So I
cocoa.
said try. It's not as strong.
That's delicious.
Yeah, the chocolate acts as a balance to the Baileys.
Yeah. No more. No more. Yeah, I saw that. Well, Rolling with T-Bone, I believe he brought up a good point. Is um, giving advice. You and Ray have a connection. You are like family. You know Ray. You've met and talked with him, and you when you two talk about a subject when it comes to diabetes, that's a subject that y'all have in common. That you know where he's at with his level of diabetes, and he knows where you are with his level of diabetes. So that is very informative. But in no way should I ever tell sick, no, 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 this ain't the way to do it. Here's what you got to do. No, 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 you don't do it that way. Listen to me. Listen to me. Well, see, that leads to raised eyebrows and people feeling angry. It ain't the chatter about diabetes, I believe, that has triggered people. It's I think the ill-informed advice that can easily flow when you start getting opinions. You guys, y'all take care of one another. Do what it takes. Do what it takes between you two. That's your business. That's just my opinion. Of course, now I've been drinking Bailey's here, so I might start getting a little foaming at the mouth. Dr. Google. Oh, that would be intern YouTube. Intern YouTube and Dr. Google. Yeah, you've got our full support. Uh, and I do like your idea, Motorbomb Virginia, about raising your hand. I mean, I know it makes us like school, but when you got 10 people in there and you raise your hand, that if you got a topic, then you you that controls the channel, you can zoom in on the person that raised their hand. You feature them full screen and listen to the statement they have to say and zoom back to your 10 people and listen to the comments. And this way, the guy down in the corner, he raises his hand and Motorbomb recognizes him by doing the zoom on him. So it's something I think would work. It's a valid point, because when you got five guys talking, I'll be trying to pick out what one is saying over the other. You have people that speak and you listen to them a little closer and you're trying to hear what they're trying to say, but you can't exactly discern exactly what they're saying. You're a master at this, Motorbomb, and you're the guy. You take charge. They're going to be people that's going to have helpful suggestions. Like I think it was Roland of T-Bone made that suggestion, and it would be a way of managing such a large crowd. And and a lot of times people forget to look over there at the scrolling text because they all get involved in chatter, but we all should pay a little bit more attention to some of the scrolling text because there's people come in that wants to get in. And if I see, let's say American Outlaw, he's got his camera all set up, and he said, "I'd sure like to join you guys." And if Motorbomb sees it, uh, to give him an opportunity to be a part of it, I would excuse myself, or maybe one or somebody, so we can squeeze in another. And so all of our friends, oh, absolutely, Motorbomb, he the boss. He the boss. Bong, yeah. Oh man, look over, look who just woke up. Why are you itching for? Hey, buddy, come here, come here. Why are you itching, huh? You want me to rub your belly? Huh? Come here, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Roll over. There you go. Look at that little belly. You just need just a little bit of rub. See, everybody needs love. When you need loving, come to Old Mac. He'll rub your belly. And some of you boys have got ample bellies. I ain't naming who, but me included, because it's part of that good, easy living. Easy living. That spaghetti is so sexy. You are such a pushover Motorbomb. You are. People, because you're such I mean, a guy that is an artist like yourself that has such a creative mind. And I agree with Dave too. You are really good at what you do. And you look what you've done for me. You are the reason I'm here. Um, I asked you a question, you gave me an answer. I applied your response and I got positive feedback. It don't get no better than that, brother. Live stream group training. Now, the reason I called you together today for this live stream group discussion, we don't want to, also don't want to be so regimented, Motorbomb, that um, it would take the fun out of it. I think spontaneity, when something just comes in your mind and you speak it right out, that is one thing. But to be able to manage all the comments and all the people, they all can't speak at the same time. And we're all scattered all around. We got Dave over in Australia on your page, and you got people all over America and Europe. Um, there's there's a lot of stuff coming in all at one time, and with different accents and different dialogues. Just there's a lot to take in. Yeah, absolutely sick. He runs the show. That's it. And he's done so much for so many people that there's no way you guys can, unless you've had help from him. can understand that. Maybe one day we'll get my baby sister, get her to get a camera, and she can come in and join us. She'd be the wild card, the wild child. Um, we've done some wild things in our life. I've got others that could come in, but they have such full lives. They don't have time for none of this. They have full lives. Not that we don't have a life. We take the time in our life to sit down and visit, and it brings people together, and that's what it's about. That's the reason I have my coffee talk. Have, oh, none of you people on here could ever remember. Probably, let me see who could possibly know if Rydon Ruby was here. He would maybe remember Godfrey. Arthur Godfrey. Yeah, we are kind of we're was a gift or gab, I guess, left to talk. Arthur Godfrey had a morning show that he would drink coffee and talk. He had a TV show, and he would talk and it was and I hope I didn't bring anybody down. My apologies. I sometimes I dip off into the dark side. Um, Everybody's got to face up to your final days, and I don't mean to put that on people. It's just a question came up, and it and answered it, and you heard her little head talking to you. Her little head is not going to tell you no lie. She's not. She hasn't been raised in lies. She don't know how to do that. Hers is unabashed love. It's a really a pure form of love. And I wish more people had it in their life, that would have the bond with another human being that you can talk with every day. And a lot of people do have really great relationships, but some of the older relationships begin to, well, she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing, and whatever. And that's good too. But I'll try to not to go into that. No, you gotta look at new adventure. Yeah, I look at it this way. Before I got here, I did not know what here is, but I am here now, and just over my shoulder is the hereafter. And can't have no fear for it. Because how could you be afraid of something you don't even know what's going to happen, what's going to exist? That's people harbor up ideas and stuff, but and it's going to be okay. I want y'all to remember that. He said, it's going to be okay. It is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Well, Motorbaum, the question was asked about the relationship between me and Angelique, and because she's very affectionate, and I want her to be all the woman that she can be. Um, and she gets to be with Old Mac. We've been together 34 years. I watched her blossom as she grew up, and she likes the bike and sing. She likes the power and the roar. She likes it when I gun the engine. She loves that sound. I took her into like the danger zone yesterday. I went up over a rise, and I think we went up about 60 yesterday morning. I turned the motor on up to the high RPM, and she said it was like floating over the hill. She liked that. I tell you what happens with real love, Motor is it keeps the wrinkles off in your forehead because you're not sitting around like this. Um, it brings happiness to you, and when you're smiling, all your cares go away. I can be sitting here literally hurting really bad with my feet. I can dismiss that because what you have to say, each and every one of you, I listen to. When that portion of the brain is listening and enjoying and being embraced by other human beings that has some of the same similarities and some of the same wants and needs and desires, and they're expressing them, I don't feel the pain. The pain is gone. It's there, but my mind don't know it. When you go to bed at night, when everything starts to shut down and your buddies ain't there and you're back now into this real world and you're going to sleep. And then the feet let you know, oh, you're not going to go to sleep right now. You're going to stick with me for at least a half hour. We're going to enjoy the pain together. And I tell you one good thing about having a broken leg is my feet quit hurting. Because it's like the old Chinese torture. I think there was a Chinese treatment like if your leg was hurting real bad, they'd smash your thumb with a hammer and say, "Now look out," and you would never think about your leg again because your thumb would be hurting. Oh, Ray, you and I, when you lay down and rest, when that moment comes and you do that in your bed and you're feeling good and you're in the right spot in your bed. Everybody's got a bed's got a right spot in the bed. When your body conforms to that mattress, and then your feet says, "Hey, I'm down here. I want to talk with you for 30 minutes or more." You go to sleep, and the last thought you have, the last feeling you have, is the throbbing feeling in the bones in your feet. You don't feel the skin, it's pretty dead. I can touch it, and I know it's there. I don't have a whole lot of good control over the toes, but hey, look, you learn to adapt whatever it takes to put them feet one in front of the other and move right on. You can't succumb. Man, this is such good coffee. You know, I was adapt, and overcome. I was laying over there in bed 2 or 3 years ago, really sick, 104-degree temperature. Oh, that's high for an adult. I was hot. So I crawled out of the bed and I went over and got into my shower and I got myself cooled down with the shower. And I had a motorcycle show to attend to in Australia. Australia loves you, Mac. Oh, man. Or my second country. Canada's just right up there. And I've got a lot of good Canadian friends. But I've always had a desire to go to Canada. And my wife and I was going to go to Canada. I go to Australia, but we just never made it. We'd say, we're going to do it next year. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And we never made it. Steve Irwin made it kind of like the place to be. You know, he would pick up he'd grab a 12-foot long cobra by the neck and he'd say, "Crackies, hold still, cracky, cracky, hold still." Oh, you're hissing and jumping. Uh, you Aussies, boy, I tell you, you're uh, you're right up there. If I come to Australia, you know I'm going to come over to Fremantle. I like that whole layout. I've seen enough of the town just through your videos to cracky, Cricki, cracky, yeah, cracky, cracky, cricky. Crack. Well, I got my boots and my stuff on, and I headed to Huntsville with 104-degree fever. There's just so much untapped love in this world. Got to get past all the other bluster, and it's there. Well, I rode up, and before I got, I know, Kenny Richard had conveyed to me how much he really wanted to go to Australia. We talked about it quite a bit. What I say about Richard passing is he left us way too soon, and I'm sure the pain is still there to lose your husband. And what I can tell you is, I know your pain. When I was young and had to go up to a mine, well, when we were sent away because of a punishment, the guys that would come back from the tour of Minot, they would tell us all they had there was coldness and Blackfoot women. They loved them Blackfoot women. They must have been like easy loving or something because they'd come back telling about stories about a big breasted Blackfoot woman. Every story they would come back telling always had big breasted women in it. I think they were missing their mamas, because men tends to fixate on that. Like Dave yesterday morning, I watched Dave. You got so many people out there that would love to see you, Ray. You could ride forever and never get to see all of us. But one thing about it I can say, and we're going to do it again, is I got to ride with Ray Gregory. And it was one of the highlights in my life. I ain't kidding you. It's one of the highlights of my life. And my sister right here can tell you I've lived an exciting life. And meeting you and getting a ride with you, you're a legend, man. As Toga would say, Ray Gregory is truly a legend. If I had a fist bump right here, I give you a fist bump. Yeah, her husband is much beloved by the family, and that's important. They Motorbaum, my sister Cunny and her husband rode all over America on a gull wing. They went everywhere. I'm talking about they took off and they went everywhere because she came up when she was a little kid. She'd ride on my motorcycle. When she became a young woman, she rode on my motorcycle. She married a husband that rode motorcycle, built and worked on. Um, so motorcycles are a part of her life. Okay, that's a sick bastard. Oh, it's the third or fourth largest storm to hit America. Oh, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Motorbahn, Virginia, you have a feeling of accomplishment because when you shake when you shake Ray Gregory's hand, you're shaking hands with so many YouTubers, friends, and people we've seen him meet, and now we're meeting the legend himself. And it's a great feeling. Yeah, sick. I looked at the outer edge of. Looks like you're going to be a little bit north of it, but you're going to be, and you're going to get a lot of rain. Hopefully, all the energy stays below you. A little gnat fell into my coffee, my Irish cream coffee, and he's down there singing Margaritaville. He's laying on his back, floating around, got his little legs crossed. I can see all this, and he's got a pina colada, and he's singing Margaritaville. Let me introduce him to my stomach. Ah, ooh, that was good. Dave, I don't care when you arrive in America, when you do arrive in America, I'm coming to see you. I will find you. I will track you down. You'll probably go to Florida because that's the hot spot. And oh yeah, protein in my coffee. Well, he was a happy little critter. My baby sister right there one time was drinking tequila. I hope she don't mind me telling that little story. But she was drinking tequila that had the big grub worm in it. That'd be fun. When it got down to the grub worm, my baby sister, she took that big old grub worm. I asked her, I said, what did that grub worm taste like? She said, tequila. You come down the farm, I know where it's at. I haven't been there. Oh, well, honey child, bring that right over here. Uh-huh. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh,
With you.
thank you, sweet nugget.
I'll poke you.
My baby sister said that big old grub worm was the best part. Oh, one time when I turned 70 years old, my sister's son, he took me out for my 70th birthday. And I love Mexican food, so he took me to a Mexican restaurant that he knew everybody there. And he had a drink there that was bottled in 1940, tequila, that was brought into America, not through the American network of distribution of alcohol, but they transported it from the distillery down in old Mexico, way down there, because Ron had asked him about it. And tequila gets you happy and giggly, yeah. Um, so I think it was Don Julio. I think it was Don Julio. It was bottled in 1940, and it was agave. It was not made in one of those big distilleries. It was made by people that would go out and harvest the agave. They would harvest it. The, the grub made me Superman. I love it. Oh, Ray, have a great day, buddy. And thank you very much for coming and joining us. Anyhow, we had a shot of it and it was really delicious. And her son bought me the whole bottle for $400 for a fifth, 7.5 milliliters, 750 milliliter for $400 for the bottle. And we took it home. There, we took it where I was staying out at his place. He had a compound, and we went out to the compound, and him and I, we drank that whole bottle of Don Julio. Old Mac was pie-eyed. Better than pot. Well, don't say that, Connie. Now, Sick right here. I wished we had a two-way wall we could bring Sick up on the screen because he's got a big old bung and he's got some of the best ganja in the world. And you remember one time when we was hitting the bomb over there in Puyallup? We were hitting the bomb. I got this new indicut from my pilot friend. Brought it in when he flew in. He came back and he brought us. He was over in the Middle East and he brought us this Pakistani Kush, and we charged up the bong, and it made my baby sister start seeing things. After she took a hit on that, it was a one-hit wonder, man. It, ah, and my my sister was on her own journey. Everybody in the room was on their own separate journey. Every once in a while we would bump into one another, but that uh, purple haze was in the room, and we had the fondue pots going, some best Pakistani Kush that you could get, or you couldn't get it in America. It would get you in penitentiary. But my friend that flew a commercial airliner, he had to fly in the Middle East, and when he'd come back out of the Middle East, he would always bring us some good stuff. That was a party. We had one heck of a party there, and had some fun. We did some fun doing. I think it was the time when my baby sister dropped a big chunk of hot boiling. She had cooked a piece of steak in a pot. she, what happened is our cable went off and the screen went gray, and she tried to tell us that our TV screen was gray, and then she got to watching it, waiting for the TV to come back on, and then she could see all those little white specks. There was words inside there, and she was trying to read it to us. She was over in that other dimension where things are a little bit, everything, the letters are upside down or whatever, and she was over there. You know, when you check in to see what condition your condition is in, that's where she was over there in that. You know, when you go to Hotel California and they take you to your room, and Cuddy asked me, he said, when can I check out? And I told her, I said, you can check out when you want to, but you can never leave. She's still here. She's still with me. She's still with old Uncle Mac, old Mac, Brother Mac. Yeah, I'm Brother Mac. She's still with Brother Mac. You can't leave. I ain't gonna let you go until I'm gone. You're a fun little human being. I had as much fun with Connie when she was a young woman as with Angelique, because we were all about having fun, and we did have a lot of fun and seen a lot of things and went to a lot of places. There was no limit of us. There was nothing could hold us back. You know, some people, they have what they call self-imposed limits they put on themselves. We didn't have any of those. Dog, my dog just here, little buddy. Hey, he's going to get over. He's going to go waller in his bed. Well, it looks like I'm doing all the talking because it's Old Mac's coffee talk. Now, Old Mac is sitting here. That's what they feed us up at the home. Gruel with raisins, or as it locally is known as raisin bran. Oh, Hotel California, you do such a good job on playing that Motorbaum. I love it. I even like the whole concept of Hotel California. If you listen to the words, um, and depending on what state of mind you're in, you can learn a lot from that song. And I will tell you, when I was younger, I used to hear um, the Beatles would sing about Day Tripper. And I'm thinking they was going out for a day's trip. And I didn't know over in England, a day tripper is when it took a little trip with chemicals, with natural herbal travels. How many on here has taken an herbal trip? I know baby sister, she's taken a trip on the herbal trip because she took a trip with me. And we never returned. I'm kind of like Dr. Demento. None of y'all are probably old enough to remember Dr. Demento. A zany, sort of off the wall kind of a guy. Yeah, the three little bears. Oh, let me tell you. A friend of mine said, Jerry, you got to try some psilocybin. I go, what? Psilocybin. I go, I don't know what the hell that is. He said, dried mushrooms. I go, what do you do with mushrooms? He said, let me show you. So he took $100 bill and he rolled it up and he done a line on my kitchen counter. And me and my third wife, she was standing there. He laid it out and we took that $100 bill and we snorted a line of psilocybin. All of us did. You know, up in Washington State, you go out and pick. They know which mushrooms to get, and they go out and harvest their own mushrooms because it's a rainy place, lots of mushrooms, and yeah, the shroomers. And I'm gonna tell you what, that trip on psilocybin, I never went back again. It was too scary for me. 6 hours of incoherent, out of control Old Mac for 6 hours. Old Mac saw Old Mac. Old Mac tried to bring Old Mac back so we could all be one. Old Mac was like my id, and it was right there in a visible form. Scary. It was scary for me. That was when I was 33 years old. Yeah, 33 years old when I tried mushrooms. Mm. Yeah, such good times. It is not only are the young people having a good time, the young people during my period of time, the 60s, the 70s, and 80s were really good times. I got married in 1980 when I got married in 1980. Then I got married again in 1990. Everybody knows somebody sometime. Everybody needs somebody sometime. I did peyote over there in Midland, Texas, with the Indians. I met with There was 25,000 American Indians went to Midland, Texas for one of the largest powwows of all the Indian nations. They all got together and we went over. My father-in-law, Jeff, read Cherokee letters from the soldiers from World War II, and he read it in Cherokee. The Cherokees had their own written language, their own alphabet. And he was able to read the Cherokee letters to all these Indians out there. Now, a lot of the tribes did not understand any Cherokee language, but all the Cherokees that was with us. But anyhow, we went into a smoke lodge. And what you do, you try to get with the spirit world in the smoke lodge. Oh, there's some spirits in the smoke lodge. And they were smoking peyote. And we smoked it in the traditional big pipe. And sitting over there was a guy that was doing the he was doing the little, he had the little beat going on. Maybe I might have imagined it. I don't know. But he was right over there. Yeah, the Sioux. I met a wonderful Sioux guy that came from Washington, D.C., that just got his law license. He was a lawyer. He went to the most prominent law school in the East United States. He was a Sioux Indian, and he went back to Rapid City, South Dakota, to he was like a Lakota. Lakota is a lot of Indians in that region. Everybody's got to find a comfort zone where they feel they need to be, and you gotta ride that whatever it is that makes you happy. I don't need anything to make me happy. I don't need nothing. If I thought that you hated me and nobody loved me, uh, that'd be a dreadful thought. I'd be sad. I'd be depressed. I would be. I'd be lost because love has allowed me to thrive. Not hate, but love. More comfort and security has come from love than any anger I could ever muster up. um, you have amazing stamina, sick. I have watched you, and I remember friends of mine that, man, I mean, how they could maintain. They would do stuff and have me. I would do it with them, and I would be just in another world. And yet, they always maintained. Some people just have different kind of dispositions that allows them to maintain. Maybe I should give my baby sister, but it's late there. It's already what? 9:53 there. Your baby sister. This is just for a bite, just for you. Hang on. Open that mouth. Come on. Come on. I wish my other sister could relax and be a part of this. She loves the internet. She loves all the things that I'm doing, but she just doesn't want to do. I'm glad you liked it. I put a little black velvet in it just for you, Connie. Well, Dave, go and have yourself a good sleep. Thank you very much for coming and joining us. I know it's late for you, buddy. Um, go get yourself refreshed, and I'll be watching for anything that you put out there. When you put out anything, it always comes up on my page, and I can see, Dave, what you're doing. So I never miss an episode of Dave. You're a you're a different individual. You're all of us are different. Um, you're friendly, outgoing. You're outspoken. It don't appear to be afraid of anything because you rode all the way across Australia and through some dangerous areas. Well, we still maintaining. We got 6 people in here, and riding with Ruby will be in here pretty soon because he'll be back with his school bus. Oh yeah, you got that big trip. Yep, you're going to have a full support group right here in America. We're going to be riding with you. That is so cool, Sig. Let me see. You posted? Let me see what song. Let me. I'll be. Hang on. Oh, Grateful Dead.
Medicine.
What?
Time to take your medicine.
Come up here.
What?
You got to talk me into taking my medicine.
My dude,
What?
take your medicine
Why?
because it'll keep you living, and I need you around.
What? What do you need me around for? Oh, here, let me give you some money. Where'd the money go? Here. I always keep a couple of dollar bills around. Give my little girl. Here, go. Here.
Buy yourself something nice for Theo.
Go buy yourself a personality.
I got one. You may not. Go buy Theo bigger brain. He's got a peanut brain as it is.
Bye. I ain't going nowhere. I can't leave this. This is worth not me, but this gathering. 5 hardcore YouTubers. Hey, somebody brought up a good idea the other day. It might have been American Outlaw. Somebody said, you guys have got the Forgotten Angels camp out, and somebody said to let's have a camp out, a YouTubers camp out. We're going to have a lot of land. We're going to need a lot of land to get this bunch in. I'm hoping Riding with Ruby shows up. Oh, that is something. I think Pasco probably means something. Um, it might have been a famous person because there's Pascos all over America. And I don't know what it means. But you live in Pasco County, and Pam was born in Pasco, Washington. You know who else was born in Pasco, don't you? My baby boy Donald was born in Pasco. He was born, and that's in Franklin County, Pasco is, but he was born in Pasco, Washington, in Franklin County, at a Catholic hospital. Little Donald, he had a hard life getting here. We'd have to have it central, some kind of located where we got the majority. Some some would have to travel more than others, but it would be set up where um, everybody could get there. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, Pam was born in Pasco. We have a lot of history in Pasco. Pasco is what they call the Tri City: Pasco, Kennewick, and Richland. And over at Richland is where they made the heavy water for the first atomic bomb. If I remember right, when you lived in Pasco, kind of you was footloose and fancy free. I don't think you had a man in your life at that point, but you was playing the field. you you was like your big brother. Your big brother was playing the field, and you was playing the field. So we pretty well had the Tri City area covered. Nothing got past us. You remember my big breasted woman? What was her name? Linda. That every time my truck would roll out, she liked to ride with me. Big old, she was from, her family was from Hungary or one of those Eastern European countries. Might have been Slovenia, part of the old, I think the old Yugoslavia. Yeah, that's right. That she was over that area. Her mom was from Old Country. I love European women. I love Canadian women. I love American women. I look I love Mexican women. Yep, he was the wild one. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I don't think Ruby's going to be able to get in here today. I haven't. I've been on for 2 hours and 11 minutes, and I think I'll go ahead. I'd like to thank Dave for coming. He's having to go to Slumberland. Motor Bomb, man, number one. Sick, American Outlaw. I think the brown chicken was in there earlier. He may have he had another life, I'm sure. Ray Gregory, all the guys that come to join us today. Yes, 9 here. The whistle just blew 6 minutes ago, so I think I will cut you loose. Go over and get the Weather Channel on so I can watch the progress that the hurricane is making. So if anybody asked me, I'd have a little bit of knowledge of where it's at. I mean, I went to sleep last night. It was over by Cancun and over there by, yeah, that little jutted out where it comes out of Mexico. It was scraping its ass right across the land there at Mexico. And that's a good thing because the deeper it went into Mexico, the less severity there was going to be in Florida. And you see it slowed it down tremendously, but it gained up some more speed. But I think you guys are going to be all right. Everybody's well aware of it coming. Milton, Milton, like Milton Berle. So let me wish all of y'all a very good morning. And from the bottom of my heart, please don't hate me for being honest. I'm just, that's why I am. You ask me a question and you're going to get nothing but the truth. We don't function any other way. Sick, man, what could we do without you? You're such a helpful guy. I mean, you're not just self-centered, where you do your stuff and get all about you. No, hell no. Even after a big hit on the bung and a couple of blunts, you still think about us as human beings. Good night, Connie. She's going back to sleep. She's got to articulate in bed. She's going to pull the handle that's going to get her into the sleep mode. And everybody, American Outlaw, if you're out in the shed today, don't overdo yourself. Out there working on your bike, and you're doing a fantastic job. And God bless you. God bless each and every one of you. And we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. For those that are interested in coming back, I'll wait till Ray Gregory posts Ray Gregory Rides. And after Ray posts his video so everybody can see Ray taking his ride, I'll come in and have coffee with you. So y'all come back. Love you and God bless.